Hello, good afternoon everybody. How are you all doing today? Thank you very much for joining me this May 20th. It's a Thursday. It's about 3 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Manitoba, Canada. And today we're going to do a technical analysis on Bitcoin. So a lot has happened over the past few days especially, and I'm sure that there's a lot of turmoil in the group that's been caused by this major drop. A lot of it has to do with fundamental news as well. But as we all know, I do not follow any type of fundamental news. As myself, I am a purely 100% technical analyst, and everything that I personally see is reflected entirely in the charts itself here. A lot of people have been asking me about the Discord group and also about the trading courses. So I thought I would touch up on it really quickly. I don't really shill it, nor do I need to, just because of the prominence I have already and how I've proven myself to a lot of people that I am here to stay for the Discord group, right? I've been working on quite a few long hours to get back into the game and manage this group here. You folks are more than welcome to visit www.philicon.com, as you can see here. And there's just basically two things that I offer here. I offer the premium Discord group and also the trading course as well. If you would like to join the Discord group, it has a clear-cut set of examples of what you're going to get. Okay, you can just give it a quick read. I accept a yearly payment for by crypto as well, where you get the course for free if you sign up by crypto. Okay. Also, if you go to the courses here as well, it's got the syllabus, right? It's got the syllabus on here, which is amazing. Normally it sells for $450 on Udemy, which is quite a bit, but it's about 10% the price of any other course out there. If you would like to purchase it by crypto, it's normally $250, and it's a really good course in my opinion, where a lot of people have taken it, and a lot of people have said really good things about it. It's designed from the ground up, so if you don't know anything about trading, it's going to teach you the basic terminologies, and you basically go up from there from a very beginner oriented fundamental training or tutorials to very, very detailed as well. And if you see this video, okay, if you see this video, just because Bitcoin ended up dropping a tremendous amount, a lot of people are asking me about the courses as well. Normally it's 250 American by crypto, but if you send me just 150, I'm happy with that. And it's only if you see it in this video only, okay? So I'll be more than happy to help out people at 150 American by crypto. And you can see the addresses here. Anyways, enough talking about that. I don't want to talk about that anymore, okay guys? So right now, let's talk about Bitcoin. And let's talk about the monthly first of all, to how it's been trending, okay? So the last month, it was a little bit of a scary month, where we did get some sort of dragonfly doji in the month of April that ended up closing up there, right? Our size also fairly high, in my opinion, 92. But let's go to the weekly, okay? The weekly was the one that was fairly scary, in my opinion, because we kept getting a series on the RSI of a lower low and lower highs. Usually, if we're seeing something like the price is steady, okay? The price is not really getting higher anywhere, and RSI is based off of pretty much, if you're looking at the highs of the RSI, right? It's always going to be off of the highs. Okay, so the way that I see RSI is if it's straight like that and it goes to the side, but we're getting a series of lower highs, okay, and also a series of lower lows. What this will generally mean is, if you look at this, lower highs and lower lows, and then you also look at the price where it's going sideways like that, that's generally going to indicate that it's losing strength and a good drop is going to happen, combined with other confluent reasons, okay? So we look at reasons one, why this could have been bearish. That's why I've been bearish for a long time, okay? Reasons why bearish, okay? So one reason was, and these need to be, we're talking about confluent reasons, okay? So confluent reasons basically refer to a combination of reasons that make it look bearish, but they need to be a combination. So one is lower lows, lower and lower highs on our side, right? Second reason was price sideways. Sideways couldn't make a higher high, okay? Do you see what I mean? And then the last reason that was showing very visibly, in my opinion, was the histogram ticking to the downside, right? It's peaking off. See this section right here where it's actually coming down. It's getting lower and lower and lower and lower, but the price is actually kind of doing the same thing while the MACD is getting lower. These things indicate that they're losing steam, okay? So sorry, the histogram getting lower lows, right? Basically minimizing. It's getting smaller. Do you know what I mean? It's getting closer. It's stepping down. It's going negative. Like basically, however you want to call that, that's what histogram decreasing, you can just say, right? And then also the last reason is the MACD crossing over, right? So the MACD eventually crosses over right around here, or about to cross over. About to cross over. So if you look at all four of these very important reasons, you can easily say that they're lowering for a reason, right? Or it's decreasing in strength. It's getting lower lows, lower highs. The price is sideways. It couldn't make a higher high. The histogram is decreasing. The MACD is about to cross over as well. So these are all confluent reasons why it was very apparent that we were most likely going to drop to the downside, okay? So I personally think that the weekly was showing a lot of indication that we were eventually going to sidestep to the downside. And now what we're seeing is that even on these time frames, right? Notice how this is getting exponentially lower like that, or parabolically lower. Usually what happens is then it makes a V-shaped correction to the upside. Then I can give you a very easy example of how something could spike to the upside when we get some sort of formation like that. So just as an example, on the opposite side of coming down, if you were getting something like that, right, that's kind of the inverse, and then this ends up spiking up, which is also the same thing as something parabolically dropping down, and then it goes up. So just to give you an idea of this one in particular, this is Wi-Fi. This is doing the inverse of what Bitcoin is doing right now, and then it spikes up as we can kind of see it right now, and then it just goes upwards, right? So just to give you kind of a slight idea of how this could be trending soon. So I do expect a fairly good rally. Right now on the 3-day, for example, or the 4-day, for example, we're trying to fight at the 55 EMA to no avail quite yet. We're getting lower lows, lower highs. There's not really any reference points of support. So this is actually incredibly scary right now, the way that we're trending. We dropped down to $28,000 and bounced back up 38%, which caused catastrophe in the market to the point where coins ended up doing a multiplying factor. So let's just say Bitcoin drops 40%. Alts will usually drop 40% with a multiplying factor such as 1 or 1.5 or 2 or something like that, right? So then altcoins will always fall down the same percentage as Bitcoin, but with a multiplying factor, which is even scarier. And that's why they tend to move a lot more than Bitcoin in general. We go to coin market cap really quickly, and we're seeing that Bitcoin's dominance is actually only 42%. That's incredibly low. Usually Bitcoin's dominance is over 60%. Market cap ended up dropping by a significant amount over the past few days, right? In the past few days here, we were at $2.3 trillion there. Or is that trillion or is that billion? Yeah, $2.3 trillion. And now we're basically at 1.7. So we've lost about 20% of the entire market cap in a short period of time here. So the record was around 2.5 trillion. Okay. 24-hour volume was 232 billion. And now we're at about 1.7, and we even dipped down to as low as $1.5 trillion, which is incredibly low in my opinion. Right, 24-hour volume is around 280,000. the volume in general, let's take a look at it, okay? Actually, it's alright. We don't need to really spend time on CoinMarketCap. I don't integrate that into my technical analysis as much nearly anymore. So we're seeing a major dip right now, okay? I'm not sure exactly what type of formations these are right now, okay? This could be as simple as an ABC that's being done right now. A, B, and a C somehow, okay? Or this could even be a 1, 2, 3, maybe a 4, somewhere up there. And then there's a 5 still, right? And there's a 5. And then we get the ABC going to the upside. So there's a lot of complications right now with this particular Elliott wave count. But the way that I personally see this particular Elliott wave count is very simple to me. I see this as from March 2020 last year to about August where the rally happened. And I see to the September range there. And here I see this as the 3, 4, and the channel that makes the 5th, which happens quite often in my opinion, where it does something like that, okay? Where the last one makes kind of like an ending 5th wave diagonal. And that's exactly what it does. And then this one here, the 3rd wave is often the middle one and never the longest, okay? So we see this wedge in there very clearly, which ends up making the ending 5th wave diagonal that we see coming and breaking to the downside here. See it now? So the cue to short was that break right there in my opinion, because we see a touch, a touch, a touch, and a go. But that right there is very important to acknowledge. Okay, so zooming in closer, we see that the first wave is often the longest, and then the 3rd wave is the second, and then the last one is the shortest. Okay, that's what we call an ending 5th wave diagonal. That's often found in the 5th wave or the C wave only. Okay, 5th wave or the C wave. And the opposite of that would be the leading 1st wave diagonal, and that's often found in the 1st wave or the A wave. Okay, quite contrary. And this is what happens. And we also confirm it with a Fibonacci extension to confirm that the 3rd wave is longer than the 1st wave. Or sorry, the 3rd wave is longer than the 5th wave. And we confirm this by saying that with a Fibonacci extension, it does not reach 1-to-1. That's one way of confirming it. Another way of confirming it is very, very simple. Just draw a box like that and see if this box is smaller or bigger on the 5th wave. And we see that the 5th wave is actually smaller than the box. So we know that the size of wave 3 is actually longer, okay? So right now we're finding some very, very decent support for a reason, okay? So I'm just trying to let you guys know that we broke out of it for a reason, right? We completely broke out of it. And then, you know, we're gonna find some relevant supports. These ended up acting as a very relevant support, and this is acting as a very relevant resistance. So now we've got a little box, okay? A little box that we got a range, and the range is pretty much between 30,000 to about this right here where we're at. So today we're trying extremely hard to push above this 55 EMA. And I think that we're going to do successfully, right? A lot of these time frames we're starting to get kind of bullish, right? I don't know, there might be, I'm looking for legitimately one more drop to the downside, okay? One more drop so I can actually long it somewhere. We're seeing just resistances upon resistances upon resistances right now. There's certainly a lot, okay? And this is all from the few days. So right now, the key to go long, in my opinion, is when this actually breaks the resistance. But until then, I'm gonna take it incredibly easy, right? I'm gonna trade it by price action only. And we have very, very identifiable resist or supports now already that have been acting as a strong support zone. I would have to say one of them would definitely be $35,000. I personally believe that we'll end up sandwiching somewhere in here for now to squeeze into an apex. And once squeezed into this apex, there will be a breakout, because when supply meets demand and bulls meet the bears, something is likely to happen, in my opinion. So do you see how right here, this is acting as a fairly strong resistance or support? So I'm gonna have to wait here and see how this ends up playing outwards, because I don't believe that anything will happen anytime soon. We're just gonna get some volatility in these specific ranges, or it could even make something like that, right? Could make a symmetric triangle of some sort as well, instead of looking like just a descending one. So we have to play extremely careful for the meantime. Okay, all right. There's a lot at stake right now. This has been clearly demarcated, these arrows that I'm showing you right now, right? So you make sure that you are very aware of these particular you make sure that you go through these particular sorry, I got distracted there for a moment. Just make sure you're aware of these resistances that have been established for a very long period of time. Okay, you are now at 7 days into this resistance that has been established already. So I'm not waiting to make a move on pretty much anything for a swing until Bitcoin legitimately ends up breaking above this specific resistance that I see. And I'm being very clear about that. So my bias for pretty much the next few days will have to be neutral to yeah, it's neutral for now actually. I'm very much so on the fence, and I have to see if that's gonna go that way or if that's gonna go that way, but that will take some time first. So anyways, thank you very much for joining me for this Bitcoin tactical analysis. I hope you learned something from it or had fun watching this video. I'll be trading online today till about 5 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then I have to head out. And if you folks are interested in that trading course of mine, please do check out philocone.com. And also, if you are interested in the course, it will be going for 150 American dollars, and you're welcome to just read the instructions or just send it by crypto and message me on Facebook Messenger or Twitter or Discord, and I will certainly catch it within 24 hours and make sure that you're taken care of. So have yourselves a great day, and thank you for watching this video. Bye now.